Yeah, we got to get both of us
Yes.
in. All right, there we go.
Welcome back.
All right, thanks for stopping by. It's another showing of Movie Madness. What episode are we on? I've lost track. I've been so busy running around doing stuff.
Yeah. I think this is like maybe episode 12 or something. I don't
Sweet.
know.
Double digits.
Yeah. I know that we're past 10 episodes.
Yeah, we
So,
have to be past
yeah.
10.
Yeah.
So if we're on episode 12, okay. So this time we're going to talk about our review of
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the quintessential Christmas movie, Home Alone.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we're on. Okay, we're only discussing the Macaulay Culkin movies.
Yeah. Because there's how many? There's 6 or something?
at least 6. Yeah.
At least 6 movies. Holy smokes.
Yes.
There's some trivia for us today.
Yeah, so we might mention the other ones, but we're not going to go like too in depth about them.
Because let's be honest with this, you know, here, Pop, get down.
Yeah.
Down, please. Yeah. Because let's be honest with the movies, people only care about the first 2.
Yes. Well, okay. 3 does have a bit of a cult following.
Oh, it does, huh?
Yeah. And I would say out of the ones that don't feature Macaulay Culkin, 3 is probably the best.
Oh, they all just went downhill after 3, huh?
Yeah. Because with 3, they actually tried to do something different. Where the other movies take place like during Christmas.
Okay.
3 takes place after Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
and it didn't really draw as much people, did it?
I enjoyed it, but
okay.
and it features a young Scarlett Johansson.
Like how young?
14, maybe.
Dang.
Yeah.
That is young.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. But
that is definitely interesting. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, the others, especially the Disney Plus reboot, are not worth mentioning.
No. Man. So Disney Plus tried to do a reboot of Home Alone.
Yes.
How badly was that panned by everybody? And I don't mean just critics. I mean friggin' everybody. Like everybody and their mother. This is not Home Alone. This is crap.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was awful.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's got to be terrible.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we're only going to talk about 1 and 2.
Yes.
Which were the best ones.
Yeah.
And of course, the movie, I will say this, I don't think the movie would have been as good were it not for Macaulay Culkin.
Definitely.
Like, you try and put anybody else in that kid role, it wouldn't work because Macaulay was just, you know, he had just that natural charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also the wacky antics. But to be fair, he 2 years before, when Home Alone was out in theaters in 1991, 2 years before, he was actually cutting his teeth on Uncle Buck.
Yes, and that's another classic.
That is a great movie. That's not a Christmas movie, but you could honestly say
it's. I guess you could count it as technically a Thanksgiving movie.
You could count it as Thanksgiving, or like, you know, anytime during the holiday season, maybe even like outside the year. It's a good movie. I would definitely recommend Uncle Buck. It's John Candy at some of his best.
Wasn't that his final role?
No, I don't think Uncle Buck was his final role because he did Going Berserk, which was one of his lesser known roles, and that one was, let's just say the movie is like, it's hard to hold up because the acting is so spotty at times. But there was also The Great Outdoors.
Okay.
With Dan Aykroyd. That I think that one was after. That one had to be after Uncle Buck, I think.
Okay.
But I do know Uncle Buck is not his final role because 2 years later he was in Home Alone.
Oh, right.
He was one of the one of the guys in the polka van,
Yeah.
the polka bus or polka truck. Yeah, so he was still acting. And but anyways, Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, just doing all sorts of hijinks and just doing everything that anybody, if they were left home alone, left behind, did. I mean, let's be honest. Did we or did we not all jump up on mom and dad's bed?
Yeah.
Like 100%. 100%.
When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone.
How is it? That's something that's gonna bug me now. How the heck is it that you grow up and get married, you're gonna live alone? You're married. You have somebody else. Oh my God. But I guess that's one of those wacky movies. Wacky movie lines. Who was it that wrote Home Alone? Or was it written and directed by?
John Hughes.
Yeah, that was it. John Hughes. I was about to say.
There are a lot of big names involved in this. John Hughes, Chris Columbus.
Yeah.
And also Raja Gosnell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of big names right there. It's like, oh, I mean, it was one, but I guess when you got all three of those guys and more like working together, you're going to be creating lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And of course, you got some great stars in there. Not just Macaulay Culkin, but Joe Pesci. Who is the Joe Pesci's co-star? The other guy,
Samuel Stern.
I think so. That had to have been.
Yeah.
Because he was the guy in Rookie of the Year, in that baseball movie where he was supposed to be like a trainer or coach, and all he did was just screw around the whole time.
Yeah. Also, one interesting fact about Joe Pesci is that this was actually his first time doing like a family film.
Yeah, because he did Goodfellas before this, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of trouble, not swearing.
Yes, because that's the thing. And I can tell you this from experience, not from doing acting movies, but when you start off and you're doing like dramas sort of thing, where you can cuss, okay, no harm, no foul. But when you transition over to that family-friendly film, suddenly you got to watch what you say like almost 24/7.
Yeah. So what they did was they made up like this I guess like a fake kind of language for him. Like whenever he would
Cuss.
Yeah.
He would just start speaking this language.
Yeah.
That is actually very innovative. Just to get around the cussing, because it's like, okay, he's obviously not going to stop cussing. So we're just going to find a way where he can cuss and nobody's going to know what the heck he's talking about.
Yeah.
Which, that's smart. That's smart. But let's talk about the one thing everybody knows Home Alone for. Keep the change, you filthy animal. This movie, actually, that movie that was in Home Alone,
Yeah.
they shot that one.
Oh, really?
That's completely original. There is no movie of that anywhere.
Wow.
That is completely original to Home Alone. That movie where he's like, keep the change, you filthy animal. You won't find that. I tried to find that movie thinking, oh, it's gotta be out there in the world. No, it is entirely original to Home Alone exclusively.
You know what else is interesting is that the entire interior of the house was all built by hand.
I can believe that.
Yeah, and it was all done inside a gymnasium.
Inside of a gym?
Yeah.
Holy! Well, to be fair, looking at all those friggin' looking at all the big house out in Chicago, it's like, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
But yeah, and so let's see. So the stars, like all this stuff that we're going through. Oh my god! But there's the one other like. What's neat about this is that there's also a B story.
With the parents, yeah.
Yeah, with the parents. But also, there's a little smaller one that's C. That's a C story with the grandfather reconnecting with his family.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really touching scene. I really like that redemption arc where you think he's this mean old grump, but he's just a sad, lonely old man.
Yeah. Which, okay, I'll say this. For the music, in Home Alone, like, I listened to like the main theme for the movie, and like this sounds kind of familiar.
Really?
Like,
I didn't listen to it, so I'm like, I don't know.
let me pull it up.
Okay, well, we're doing that. But the B story where the parents like they completely the mom realizes she left her kid midway as they're over the Atlantic, and there's no way for her to turn around is freaking it's hysterical. Because she's like, Kevin! I mean, it's John Williams, huh?
Yeah, it's John Williams did the music.
That's something I did not know. We actually did a Christmas trivia at my work where it was like 3 aides competing. Turns out I know the most on Christmas. It's funny coming from a Jew.
Okay, now when you hear that part, does that sound familiar?
It does. It sounds like a superhero movie sort of thing, or even Harry Potter.
Okay, I was thinking of the theme that plays when Buddy is not in New York.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think they took a little bit of that actually and put it in for Elf.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
Considering the movie Home Alone came out in 1991 and Elf didn't come out until what?
2001.
2001. So 10 years difference.
Yeah. Oh.
But let's see. So anyways, the C story is pretty good. The B story is absolutely fantastic because it's, you got the family that doesn't give a rip about Kevin. Like even as an adult, I'm like, y'all just do not care. You guys are horrible parents. All he wants is a slice of pizza, and y'all just take the whole thing. Like you don't give a crap about him. Send CPS out there. It's like, what the heck? No one. Like you leave your kid behind. You leave your kid behind entirely.
Yeah.
Y'all deserve to be sent to court for child endangerment.
There are several things in this movie that just do not make sense.
No.
Like, okay, he goes to the store and then he's checking everything out, and the cashier's like, "Where do you live?" Why would you ask that? Like,
she probably wants to know. It's like, is he okay? But yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, I mean, honestly, I am a cashier, and it's like, it's my job to be like, if a kid's by himself, where's mom or dad?
Yeah.
Oh, they sent me to get groceries. And where's home? Exactly. Give me an address. Well, it's just down the street. It's like, I'm going to need more than that. If you walked here, you should be able to tell me where you live. But that... Oh my gosh, yeah. And even when he's walking home, he had to, and the bags just split apart as he's walking.
Oh my god. Like, that hasn't happened. Like,
that has happened to me a couple times. I was like, check. And of course, I'm right smack in between, the grocery store and home. So I'm like, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But let's see. Home Alone, all like the characters, they're all really good. The main star, he's great. He's very smart, alecky, and charismatic, which is good. But it honestly, like some of the hijinks wouldn't hold up so well if you didn't have such like awesome co-stars that were to play the villains. And Joe Pesci and Samuel Stern do that really well. Like they are just cartoonish, straight up cartoonish. It is almost like Tom and Jerry meets a little bit of real life.
Yeah.
And didn't they have like a prop stand-in for Samuel Stern when he was getting electrocuted?
I think so.
Yeah, with that skeleton when he's like, ah! And everyone's just laughing the whole way.
Oh my god.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
One that I keep saying, like, a lot of people say, let's watch Home Alone. And I enjoy the movie, but when it's just played ad nauseum for Christmas, I'm like, ugh.
Okay. Can somebody please explain to me what a flemwad is?
The heck's a flimwad? I have never heard of this word.
Because you have that scene where Kevin is talking to Buzz, his brother, and Buzz is just like, I think he's just like, I forget what he says exactly, but he calls Kevin a flemwad, and I'm like, what the heck is a flemwad?
I think he took a page out of Joe Pesci's book and just created a swear word.
Okay.
Where it was just like a flemwad, it might even be something they just calls him like an idiot or something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But the first movie is an absolute classic. And to have and then, Mom has that turnaround immediately from France back home. And that's to hitch a ride with John Candy from like New York or something all the way to Chicago. It's great because it's like, this is the consequence of your decisions. Like, you screwed up.
Yeah. Also, she calls the cops at one point during the movie.
She does.
And the police officer he goes up to the door, knocks once, and then just leaves.
Which is not very good. Because I've talked with a bunch of other cops, and if they're like, yeah, if the kid's left at home alone, guess what? We go up and we knock on the door and say, hey, is so-and-so home? Mom and Dad are worried about you.
Yeah. Well,
but to be fair, strangers approaching your door, and it's like, where it's scary like that. But also keep in mind, it's like the early 90s, and, cops, especially in the good part of Chicago, I don't care. It's like, no, he's not there. Let's go.
yeah.
I don't know if this is true or not, but at least where I live, geez, excuse me, 3 times. If a cop is knocking on your door, it's usually for something, somewhat serious. But if it's something as simple as, a house call, they're going to be like, you just get a doctor or something else. But it is what it is, Let's see. So what would you think the first movie would be? It is obviously very much a Christmas classic.
Oh, definitely.
Like 100%. Like when it came out, it was like instant classic.
Yeah.
And actually, I've started to hear more positive things about Violent Night. Like a lot of people like it.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm not at all surprised that it made its budget and probably has exceeded its box office. As a matter of fact, why don't I take a look at it and let's get started on Home Alone 2.
Okay, so Home Alone 2.
This time, instead of going to France, the family's trying to go to New York.
Well, no, they're going to Miami.
Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, and he ends up in New York.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. And what's funny is that he ends up in New York and he ends up having like a great time Well, the rest of the family is in Miami, and it's raining the entire time.
I remember seeing that. It was absolutely hilarious. You know, they leave him behind again, as if they didn't learn this lesson the last time. They leave him behind again.
Well, okay. I'll say this, that this time it was all on Kevin.
This one pretty much was on.
Yeah.
But they could have gone back like, where's Kevin? Because once again, they left him. And not only that, here's the thing. How the heck did Kevin get on a plane when he's got a ticket for Miami and he's on a plane to New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are people that work the desk that are like, you're in the wrong area, kiddo.
Yeah, that was...
I mean, it was basically like, hey, let's see how we're going to kick this movie off. We're going to have it by someone being bad at their job. Like, hey, yo! Like, no. No.
Yeah. And the concert at the beginning.
Yeah, we're... What was it? Buzz stuck candles in Kevin's ears?
Yeah. And...
I don't think I really remember much of the concert, but I don't remember much of Home Alone 2.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the movie, there's like this recital.
Yeah.
Buzz pulls like a prank on Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
and Kevin ends up knocking the entire choir over. And of course, everyone blames him.
Yeah, when actually, it's like if Buzz had just kept his freaking hands to himself and stopped doing that shit, stop doing that stuff,
Yeah.
you know what? Wouldn't have happened. But then again, we wouldn't have had a movie.
Yeah. I also have to put it on the choir director for not putting a stop to it.
Yeah, because seriously, you're conducting in a church and it's like, you got one kid screwing around. You know what you do? As a music director, here's what you do. What the heck do you think you're doing? Exactly that. Because then the kids, they're like, like they're frozen in place. You caught them square in the act.
Yeah.
And at that point, you tell them, you, out. You ain't performing. I don't care how much donations your parents gave us. You is not performing because you cannot control yourself.
Yeah. Also, Kevin had a really funny line about his uncle being a cheapskate.
Because he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty much written, like squarely written in the first movie, where he is a cheapskate. He's like, does anybody have like money? I can get the tip. I'm like, all this pizza and you're getting the tip. Bro. And I think it was like a $5 or $10 tip on like $100 order of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Which even then, I'm like, that's still 10%. Like, I would be like, dude, no.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Joe Pesci and Samuel Stern are back again
Yeah.
as, you know,
The Sticky Bandits.
I was about to say, the new name in this one is the Sticky Bandits, right?
Yes.
Because the last one, they were the Wet Bandits.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting calling card. Each movie, they got to do something different. First one, they left the sink running so they would be the Wet Bandits. Flood the friggin' place.
Mm-hmm.
And even drive up the friggin' water bill.
Yeah. Which, like, the neighbor has to pay for that.
Yeah.
So,
They're bandits. They're going to take stuff and then they're going to leave it.
yeah. So, okay. So, in the first movie, Kevin leads Joe Pesci and Samuel Stearns over to the neighbor's house and floods the entire house.
Oh my god. That's pretty funny, actually.
It's like, I kind of felt bad for the neighbor because he had to pay for all the damages.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god. Because how are you going to get the money out of Kevin? He's a kid.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I've been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. But
Okay.
anyways, the second one, he's left in New York,
Mhm.
and he goes to, what was it, Trump Tower?
Yes, and what's interesting about that is that Trump said that the only way they would be able to use his building is if he could make an appearance in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, in the new remastered version that they have for Home Alone 2, they cut out Trump entirely, but have his tower in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, they cut him
Oh.
straight out, which is stupid. It's like not even a blip.
Huh.
But anyways, Trump showed up, and it's like, you want to use the hotel? Okay, I cameo. Done.
Yeah.
And of course, not only do you have Trump as a cameo, but you also have Tim Curry in there as the concierge.
Yes. Tim Curry and also Rob Schneider.
Yeah, Rob Schneider was in there too.
Yeah.
And it's, man, when they're trying to get Kevin to come out of that room because, you know, his credit card, I think the credit card bounced or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Kevin's dad is the one that has to pay the credit card. But even, like, didn't he put dad's credit card on home room service?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
Kevin is going to be in a world of trouble.
Yeah, and you know, the way he got his dad's credit card was that I believe he was looking for like batteries for something. It was like a recorder or something. And so he took his dad's wallet.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Either he took it or his dad gave it to him, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So
Excuse me. But honestly, it's really good. And, you know, I don't know. I think the B story with the parents, they're stuck in Miami in a hurricane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious because it's like, ha. Oh, wait. Isn't Kevin's dad's brother like divorced now or something like that because he was such a cheapskate?
I think so.
Oh, what a brilliant Scrooge. What a penny pincher.
Yeah.
Your dog let out a sigh. Like, she's like, are they going to be done yet? We've only been talking about Home Alone 2 for like 10 minutes now.
Yeah. There really isn't that much to say about these movies.
There really isn't. It's all very formulaic since the first one. But let's see. The third one you thought was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's basically this kid's name is Alex, and he ends up getting stuck at home with the chicken pox.
Oh.
Yes. And so then he has to thwart like a robbery where a bunch of criminals, or it's whereas the first two movie had two criminals, this one has at least three, maybe four.
Yo, what's wrong with two bandits?
Yeah. So the entire movie is them trying to get some kind of device from some kind of a toy or something like that. And
This doesn't sound very inspired. This seems like they kind of like, you know, didn't put as much effort into it as they did with the other two.
they really didn't.
I mean, give them credit for trying to do something original, but it's like,
Yeah.
I'm stuck at home with the chicken pox. And so he's got to thwart a robbery in between bouts of chicken pox. Dude, he's going to be laid up.
Yeah. Also, another thing to note about this movie is that the parents are actually, like, they are around this time.
Mm.
Yeah, so they're not, like, out of town or anything like that.
Well, good, because if you leave your kid home alone with chicken pox, because we have to go out and see Aunt Carol, I'm like, you're an ass.
Yeah. So,
Sorry, spam phone
Okay.
call.
yeah. Yeah, this features one of Scarlett Johansson's earliest performances. And she's fine. Like,
Well, this is when she was like a teenager, child star, so
yeah,
her acting is probably like,
yeah. Yeah, I would say the acting in 3 is mostly just fine.
yeah. Whereas in 1, they were like going full out, and 2, they tried to top it, but it was like, it's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. You
Yeah.
can only do it once.
Yeah. Also, like, with the second one, the title Home Alone doesn't really make any sense.
Especially if the parents are there with the kid.
Well,
Then it's not Home Alone now, is it?
well,
It's Home with Mommy and Daddy.
Yeah, that, and with the second one, it's like he's not home though. He's in New York. Like,
Yeah, well, what they were trying to do, I think, with that one is they were trying to do Home Alone in New York. I'm like, it sounded like it's. I honestly think this is the pitch for Home Alone 2. So, what are we gonna do, boys? Well, we were thinking of doing a sequel to Home Alone. I love it. Sequels are in. So, what are we gonna do? Well, it's gonna be Home Alone in New York. Cut the check, print it, and let's go.
yeah,
Because honestly, this might be childish and naive of me to think, but I think that honestly was how the pitch went. It's just Home Alone in New York City. I'm like, how the heck's that gonna work?
okay. So then the fourth movie, I have all 4 movies, in like a package. So I have Home Alone, I have Home Alone 2, I have Home Alone 3, and I have Home Alone 4. Yes. I do not have Holiday Heist, which is the 5th one. And I don't plan on ever watching that one again. So
Oh, you watched that one?
once. Yeah.
That bad, huh?
Whew, yeah. But with the fourth one is called Taking Back the House. And
Did Buzz kick Kevin out?
no.
Ah, it's a whole new family.
It goes back to Kevin, who is now played by a different actor. The entire cast in this movie is different. Joe Pesci did not return. Instead, he's played by French Stewart.
Huh?
Yes. And what's interesting about this one is that they tried to go for more of a mystery, which is kind of an interesting idea.
That does seem like it's interesting, but Home Alone to me is always about like the hijinks and the villains falling prey to easy traps.
Yeah.
Like villains being stupid, clumsy fools, and kids just be like, ha.
Yeah. Holiday
Taking Back the
Taking
House.
Back the House once again takes place during Christmas.
Par for the course.
Yes. This time the parents are divorced, and
Who did what?
the dad is dating another woman who. Well, okay, they're on the verge of divorce, and the dad is dating another woman who, spoiler alert, turns out to be not so nice.
Par for the course. She's just in it for the money.
And she's living in like this giant mansion.
Mom is or the woman?
The woman.
So he's dating her because of her money.
Yeah.
My God, what the heck happened to Dad?
So you can probably guess how the movie ends.
Mommy and Daddy get back together.
Yeah.
Just like they did in Violent Night. Where it's like, Mom and Dad love each other again because they help defend each other. Yeah, well, Daddy got thrown over the freaking pile of hay.
Yeah. Also, the thing that I found to be kind of disappointing about Taking Back the House is that there are no traps in this movie.
You missed there, Home Alone. The reason people watch Home Alone is not just because of the cast, but how the friggin' robbers and bandits react to falling to such obvious and easy traps.
Yeah.
I mean, look, remember when we talked about Violent Night last time?
Yeah.
What was the one scene that we thought was the best in the entire movie?
The traps.
The Home Alone
Yeah.
traps. They are a hallmark of any Christmas movie. If you're gonna do a Christmas movie, inspired and even under the name of Home Alone, you have to put in the wacky traps.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also worth noting that with the Macaulay Culkin movies, those were like theatrical movies.
Mm-hmm.
The others are not, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, they're
Like,
they're what, straight to DVD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they weren't gonna do well.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, if you go straight to DVD, it's because you have little to no faith in your product whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, there are some cult classics that actually have worked for straight to DVD. One of them that I know of, I don't know, this might have gotten a limited theater run, Secondhand Lions. Great movie.
Oh, it's been such a long time since I've seen that.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
such a good movie. It is such a good movie.
Yeah.
I watch that at least once a year. Just because I enjoy it so much. And boy, howdy, am I burping like crazy.
Also, I love Haley Joel Osment.
I know, you like Sora.
Yes.
This guy plays so much Kingdom Hearts that I'm like, this guy really does like Haley Joel Osment. And to be fair, he does a really good job.
Yeah.
Then there's me that's like, yeah, give me Christopher Judge and T.C. Carson for God of War. Not now the combat in God of War is like, oh my god. Like, it's exceedingly rough for me, but that's because I'm like, I like my combat spaced out where it's like combat, puzzle, sort of thing. Explore. But when it's just combat, move forward, combat, move forward, combat, I'm like,
Also, the cast for Kingdom Hearts in general is like stacked.
it is. I mean, shoot. You had a lot of good guys a lot of good actors that voice act in Kingdom Hearts, and it's really, really good.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Home Alone.
Yeah, but we got to get back to Home
Yeah.
Alone here.
Yeah.
So honestly, 5, don't watch. 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, yes.
Yes. 1. Yes.
Absolutely on yes. So basically, what you could do is just get Home Alone 1 and 2, your Christmas holiday set.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You know, you got something for the kids, and when the kids go to bed, you turn on Die Hard.
the 6th movie, Home Sweet Home Alone, which is a stupid title.
What the heck? That sounds. I haven't even seen any of these movies. And Holiday Heist, and this Home Sweet Home Alone. Now, Taking Back the House sounds like, but the last two that you mentioned, I'm like, no. Let me put it this way.
But yeah, as far as the 6th movie goes, like, I mean, I haven't seen it, but no, just avoid it. Do not watch it.
That sounds like it's pretty bad, folks. Sounds like it's
Yeah.
pretty bad. Okay, so, and I remember actually Home Alone 2 was a thing because they showed it recently on TV. Like, they've got 24 days of holiday movies. And it had to have been 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago. Like, not this past Monday, but the Monday before this past Monday, where they showed Home Alone 2 on TV. And I know that because I volunteer for a bowling club at the school that I work at. And guess what was playing while we were bowling?
Home Alone 2.
Yeah. And it distracted one of the kids because I had to look after the special needs group. Well, when a bunch of them are wandering around the place, I'm like, oh, okay, there's one. He's watching Home Alone 2. Great.
Yeah. So, okay, so we didn't talk about the old lady in Home Alone 2.
Yeah, why don't we talk about her?
Yeah. And we didn't talk about the toy store.
Oh, the toy store. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Help me out with these. You know those
Yeah.
ones, right?
So at one point in the movie, Kevin comes across an old lady who's like feeding the birds.
Mm-hmm.
At first, he's freaked out.
As he was with the old man.
Yes. Runs into a cab, which, with this, I don't know how I can describe it without, like, sounding, like, offensive.
Try, or even just.
Because, it's, like, the scene is very brief. So you don't really get a good look at his face.
Okay.
But it almost looks like he has like some kind of like deformity or something like that.
Deformity how? You're not being offensive at all.
Okay.
You're saying he's got a physical deformity.
Yeah.
So there's some, like, is it his face? His
I think it's his face.
Oh, so it's like one side's lower or something like that?
I think so.
Okay, so he looks kind of weird like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a physical deformity. Everybody's got them.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, look at this. Look at my arms. One arm is slightly longer than the other. Heck, one leg is slightly longer than the other.
Yeah. So then he gets in the cab. Kevin screams again and gets out.
So he's freaked out because he saw a New York taxi cab driver, and the cab driver's like, "Where you want to go?"
Yeah. But again, if I offend anybody, I apologize.
You're not trying to be offensive at all. You're really not. You're doing okay, dude.
Yeah.
You're doing just fine.
Okay.
No, you were trying to describe him as best you could.
Yeah.
And that's all you're trying to do. It's
Yeah.
like you're trying to be as, not as, certainly not eloquent, but certainly like enough where it's like, I'm trying to describe it without coming across as a jerk. And
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
So then, after that scene, it goes to the toy store,
The
right?
toy store. I know that at one point he does go to his uncle's house, who is living in New York, but that never really goes anywhere. So
Now, doesn't he buy like a whole bunch of toys in the toy store?
I think so. And he runs into the owner.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who played the owner though.
I can't remember. It's been a while for me, so I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. I have been up for 12 hours now. Like, I was up at about this time this morning. And boy, howdy, Emma. I had to get my car taken care of, so I'm like exhausted.
Eddie Bracken.
Eddie Bracken.
Yeah.
Edward Vincent Bracken became a comedy legend. Hail the Conquering Hero and the Miracle of Morgan's Creek. What the heck? Oh, it passed in 2002.
Yeah. So.
Pupper.
Yeah.
The pup wants some love and attention.
I mean,
And she's like, And she already wants to leave you.
Yeah.
There's the puppy dog. All right, so, but anyways, with Home Alone and Home Alone 2, yeah, they should be watched because they're absolute Christmas classics.
Mhm.
Whereas the other ones, you can probably skip them.
Yeah.
That's my folks. I will get that in a bit.
Okay. Also, we should probably mention that yes, Kevin does reunite with his parents.
Obviously, I mean, it's
yeah.
Home. If anyone hasn't seen Home Alone, like surprise, he reunites with his family. You know, at the end of each movie.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be that feel good, family friendly movie
Yeah.
where bad guys get caught, hero wins, and everybody is happy. Yay!
Yeah. I really think that the biggest issue with the other Home Alone movies is that they're kind of missing the point on what Home Alone is supposed to be.
Which is what? What could we boil? If we could boil down Home Alone to just a little sentence or something like that, what do you think it would be? Well, this is a lot harder than we thought.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So if we could boil down Home Alone, I would think it would be wacky hijinks holiday movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like something to the point where it's, you know, it's cartoonish in a way with a dash of realism.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, the fact that like in the other like Home Alone movies, and this isn't even including like all of the Home Alone copycats that there are.
Yeah. And there's a lot.
Yeah.
There is a lot.
Yeah. Like I remember watching one on Netflix where this little girl gets trapped inside a school and has to, you know, stop like our people from breaking in. Also, Paul Blart had elements of Home Alone too. Since with that movie, it's basically just what if we took Home Alone and set it in the shopping mall?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So honestly, the originals can't be replicated.
No.
And they're amazing. All right. So I think that's all we got for Home Alone.
Yeah.
What do you think we should talk about next? Because we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
Talked about Elf. We talked about Violent Night. We talked about Home Alone 1 and 2.
We could go into like all of the different like Christmas Carol adaptations.
Yeah, we can do that because that one, it's a classic. Like there's a lot of good ones actually.
Yeah. Also, some not so good ones.
Yeah.
But
pretty much. So I think that's fine. Why don't we talk about Christmas Carol next time?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the meantime, folks, thanks for stopping by. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
And join the Discord.
All right. We will see y'all later.
Bye.
Okie dokie.